Our experiment results were a little bit mixed this week, and we had a few surprises too. Hi there, I'm Appy from iCode Happy. This is week 4 of my 7-week website experiment. We're making small SEO and AEO changes every week to a set of low visibility products for a client of mine. And we're tracking the visibility to see if these changes have an effect. Last week, I updated title tags, meta descriptions, and I strengthened the internal link structure between the main blog post and each of the products, and even between the products themselves. Those are small things, but they're important structural work. We've spent a couple of weeks making small changes like this. You're welcome to catch up with the first few videos if you'd like. This week, we're going to start trying to amplify the changes that we've made. There's a lot of different ways to do that, but the ones we're going to focus on this week are Pinterest pins and posts on Facebook and Instagram. We're going to pin each of the products to Pinterest. They've been pinned before, but we're going to pin all of the products over the next day or two. And we're also going to pin the blog post and the scents collection and just see if we can get a little bit of buzz going on Pinterest. The pins will be tailored to the season since it's almost Christmas. We'll be making mention of the fact that they make great gifts and good stocking stuffers or a good way to treat yourself. Here's an example of Cadillac Cowboy Cologne. Here's another example of Faith Perfume. And you can see all of the Pinterest elements in both of these pins. And finally, we'll pin both the collection, the scents collection, and we'll also pin the main blog post that we updated a couple of weeks ago that lists all of the scents and links to all of the products. We're also going to do a post today on Instagram and Facebook. That is scheduled here, and we'll post the link to the blog post. And then within the next day or two, we will also post the scent collection. I'm not going to post each individual product to Facebook and Instagram right now because there's so much going on with the holidays and with all of the scents and all of the products. That would just be too much. So a better way is going to be to spread those out a little bit, and that'll be done outside the scope of this particular experiment. There are so many other ways to amplify this content, but we're going to stick with these two particular things for this particular experiment just to limit our scope a little bit, and we'll see how they do next week. So these social posts that we're doing, they're going to help in a couple of ways. One is direct traffic, maybe some link clicks, but also everything we do like this helps Google see the activity around these products and even around this brand. Sometimes you get indirect benefits from things like doing these posts. And now for the data. So the first table we're going to look at for data is changes from last week. The data this week is pretty mixed. You don't see a lot of green on here to indicate improvements. You have a few impressions that improved. You have a couple where the sessions on the website improved a little bit, but overall, most things dropped or stayed the same. And honestly, that's not too unusual. Last week was a holiday week. We had Black Friday and then a lot going on over the weekend. You have a lot of people searching for things, but you also have a ton of content out there. And like I've been saying, these are such small numbers that you're going to get a lot of variation. But the surprises that don't show in this table are that we had 4 sales last week. Smoke Show had 3 sales and Cadillac Cowboy had 1. And they weren't bundled with the main popular scent. So I'm counting those. So what's interesting is that the visibility matrix, they didn't improve much last week, but the sales still happened. And that's the complexity of real world data. Sometimes you see conversion at different times than you see visibility. People think about things, they search and then they come back, they decide later, and those are all normal things to happen. You have external factors like Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. And sometimes making improvements is a little more about putting focused attention on something, and the improvements come without the ability to attribute that to a direct cause. So this week's takeaway is that the numbers didn't improve that much, but we still got some sales. That's not as clean as we like, but that's how experiments work. Search doesn't always improve in a straight line. In fact, most things in life don't. And especially when you're dealing with numbers as small as this and in increments as small as a week. So that's why we're going to keep going. We're going to keep looking for the patterns. We're going to keep zooming out to see what the overall trends are as the time goes by. But let's take a look now at the overall changes from our baseline until now. And that picture looks a little bit different. Most of this table is green. Impressions are up, and so are page sessions on the website. Again, is that just the Black Friday effect, the seasonal effect of more people shopping, more people on the site in general? Well, we're just going to have to keep looking. And while this overall data is more encouraging, shows more improvements, the approach we're still taking is wait and see and keep watching the trends. Next week, I'm going to work on comparisons, some of that content into the ecosystem. If you want to keep following the experiment, hit subscribe and come back next week. And if you'd like me to run a similar diagnostic sprint for your business in January, then click the link to get on the wait list. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again.